Are you stateless or state of stateless? November 22, 2019 by Anna von Reitz. I had a good laugh today, even though it's the ouch kind of humor. A friend reported on what is going on in Texas. They still don't get the fact that they have a state of the union called Texas, which is the only claim to a birthright that they have. They are still mistaking the loss of municipal and territorial states of states as the loss of their state, Texas. That's like mistaking your own dog for your neighbor's refrigerator. And people all over, not just Texas, are so gullible that they buy into this verbiage, and though they don't know what it means, they assume that they do. I have it on very good authority from the person who coined the word verbiage that he meant it to imply words used so deceitfully or with such little true meaning as to become the verbal equivalent of garbage. And that is what this stateless meme is, and the false claims behind it, too. Verbal garbage. No American is stateless unless they voluntarily abandon their own state of the union. There are some Americans who have ignorantly agreed to be identified as municipal citizens of the United States who will be left stateless, in a sense, because their corporations operating as state of states like the state of Mississippi are going away, but that is not the same thing as being stateless. These municipal states of states never had any right to exist here in the first place, and now that the municipal United States is bankrupt, even less reason to be here. If the territorial states of states also go away, that's no cause to think you are stateless either. Anyone born in this country is welcome to reclaim their birthright as an American and as a Minnesotan, Vermonter, Floridian, Californian, and so on. Whichever state you were born in is your state. Claim it by declaring your correct political status, recording it, and joining your state assembly. The actual states are all still here. So, the only reason you should ever be stateless is if you are gullible and/or fail to reclaim your birthright political status. Now, all those Texans have been told the truth about this numerous times, but they still have this tendency to get lost in the verbiage, just like getting lost in a cactus patch, and with much the same result. They don't know that a Confederate state is in fact a federal state of state. They don't know that Texas, the state of the Union, is an actual state and not a state of state. And because they mix up the two different kinds of things that are both being called states, it's easy for them to mistake their own dog for a neighbor's refrigerator. These people need and deserve their state as much as anyone else, and it does hurt me to think that any of them are going to be cheated out of what is owed to them because of verbiage. So here's one more try for the sake of the Alamo. Texas is your state and it is right under your feet. You are a Texan if you were born within the borders of Texas. Period. That's your actual nationality. You weren't ever naturally born in the territorial state of Texas, nor were you ever naturally born in the municipal state of Texas. Those are both foreign political statuses pertaining to federal employees and their dependents. British territorial United States citizens are called United States citizens and are usually military personnel. Municipal United States federal civil service employees are called citizens of the United States. Those folks, if they are Americans, all need to come home, and even if they remain dual citizens, which is allowed under the federal constitutions, they need to reclaim their birthright political status as at least one of the two citizenships they can hold. Otherwise, if both of these foreign state of state corporations go bankrupt, the federal employees will be state of stateless, with no true state of origin on record, out of a job with no place to go, no excuse for being here. Helluva a situation for them, and that's where you will be, too, if you let these funny balloon salesmen tell you that you are stateless just because they are. If you are a Texan, claim Texas. If you are a Virginian, claim Virginia. Get off your silly butts and declare your proper political status. 90% of you aren't federal employees of any kind and have no reason in the world not to claim who you are and who you have always actually been. And even the federal employees who were born here in this country have no excuse and no reason for not claiming their birth state as one of their dual citizenships. Remember, our states of the Union don't recognize any dual citizenship, so people can't act as a state citizen and vote in their state assembly at the same time they are employed by the federal government and claiming some form of U.S. citizenship. But also remember that so far as the federal government is concerned, dual citizenship is okay. You can keep your federal job, and if it goes away, and you are left with only your state national status, you can still come home and you are still not stateless so long as you have the good sense to claim your original birthright political status as a Texan or Vermonter or wherever else you were born. So, here's the best advice about dogs and refrigerators. If you are Joe average American working in a private sector job, not on any federal welfare, that is, receiving actual unearned federal benefits, not talking about or counting payment you earned as a result of military or other service, and not seeking political asylum from the federales, declare your proper political status as an American state national, Texan, Ohioan, Minnesotan, whichever, and consider joining your state assembly as a state citizen. If you are a federal employee or dependent of some stripe, declare your birthright political status as one of the two citizenships you can have, and be proud of your nationality as a Texan, Ohioan, Minnesotan, and look forward to the day when you can retire or quit federal citizenship obligations and rejoin your state assembly, and inherit back all your rights and property assets. So long as you were born or properly naturalized here and you claim a state of the Union as your permanent home and domicile, you are never stateless. Links to this article and more can be found in the video description box.